Welcome to I Think I Love You, where we keep it real with your past, current, and future relationships. With your host, Loverboy Los.
Welcome everyone to another episode of I Think I Love You. I'm your host as always, Loverboy Los. I'm joined today by my producer, Anthony. Say what's up, Anthony.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
And I want to say a special shout out to my guest for today, Miss Janeen. She's got a lot of great advice, especially about sex and all these other things. So we're going to talk about it. Thank you so much for being on my show today.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. I know you had to stay a little bit later at work, wait on me, but I apologize. Traffic was hard today.
Yes, usual thing in LA.
I know. Us LA people got the worst. We get the sunshine, but we get a lot of people with it.
Very true.
So, Janeen, one of the things that you were talking to me about earlier is you're a single woman and you're a little bit older. And what's some of the things that you find challenging right now as you're dating, as in this age? Because I can only imagine from when I'm dating in my singles, late 20s, and I would say we got our own challenges, but thinking about when you're older, you're looking for different things from men, or has that changed when you were 20?
Oh, definitely looking for different things. When I was 20, I just wanted a good time. I just wanted to have fun. Now I want to be married. I want to build something with someone, and that seems to be hard. I recently got on a couple of apps, and I'm not really finding anything. Conversations are here and there, and it's frustrating. I Bumble, for example, women have to reach out first. I reach out. It takes maybe a couple of hours for them to respond, and then I respond right back, and then they take a couple of hours. So conversations could take 3 and 4 days. How do you get to know someone that way?
Yeah, that's funny how you mentioned Bumble, because that was actually one of my favorite apps, because the girls would have to hit us up, and it was a little interesting because it was out of the norm.
Yeah, I don't like it. I've only been on 3 weeks, but I am not enjoying this process.
Well, I feel sometimes we have to play that game. It's like, oh man, if I text her right away, if I message her right away, it'll seem like I'm too needy or I'm too into her. So it's always that psychological game where it's like, man, I gotta give it a couple hours and then I'll hit her up, and then.
But aren't you on the site to meet people? So why do you have to play the game? Why can't you just be forward and say, hey, I like you, you like me, let's see what happens? I mean, you only get so much out of text, then you got to meet someone. But if, for me, the text isn't going anywhere, why am I going to waste my time to get in my car, drive through traffic to meet you someplace if you're not even stimulating me in text? Yeah.
What's some of the things that you think would help you at least be stimulated or interested in that person while they're texting you?
An actual conversation other than, hey, how is your day? What's going on? Like, actually talk to me. Or get to a point where then I go, okay, let's exchange numbers and have a conversation. But I'd say out of maybe the 10, 3 of them I've exchanged phone numbers with, and we've actually had phone conversation. But the rest of them, it's taking so long to even get there that I just go unmatch.
Yeah, and that's why I'm kind of like old school too, because I always love meeting whoever I'm going to be dating in person, because it feels way more genuine that way. To me, the online thing was always kind of weird because you don't really know this person, and when you first meet up, it can be a little bit awkward.
Right, but how do I even know if I want to meet up with you if in the little conversations we're having, you're not really saying anything that I want to talk to you more? I want a husband.
Yeah, so
there's
you're weaving through.
Right, there's certain requirements. I don't have time to be wasting. I want to go into my golden years with a man, and if we're going to play now, I don't have time for it. I need you to be a man and step up, and not me chase you, because that's not going to happen either.
I'm actually thinking, like, hearing you, Janeen, do you think you're a little too cutthroat, maybe? Like, you don't give, like, I know you know what you want, but possibly right when you hear something that you don't like, you just immediately chop them off and say, I'm on to the next.
No, I do have requirements. Like, there are certain things that are non-negotiable. And for me, I'm a Christian. First and foremost. So, you have to also be a Christian. If we are unequally yoked, we're not going to work.
Yeah.
So in conversation, if I'm asking you about your belief in God and you tell me you're an atheist, immediately we're unmatched.
That's crazy.
I'm not going to continue that conversation. So that's my biggest thing is if I'm unmatching you, it's because we're not going to work. I need you to be head of household. And if you're a different religion, you're not going to be able to do that.
That's so interesting because I don't want to put my relationship out there right now, but my girlfriend's kind of like she is a devoted Christian too, and I'm kind of like an atheist, and she knows that, and she was so cool with me, so I don't know if it will last that long, but yeah, it actually worked in my favor, or at least, I don't know. I guess it depends on the person that you are too, because everyone's different.
Well, the person I was at 20 did that. The person I am now is like, I don't have another 20 years to play around and figure this out. I mean, I enjoy sex.
Yeah. I think everyone does.
So when I was younger, I might go and pick up somebody and be like, I don't care your name. You don't care my name. Let's just do this, do what we got to do and keep going.
Yeah.
But I'm not at that stage anymore.
No, I respect that too. And it's more about what you want and you're sticking to that. I think this is a good segue to talk about some of the things that you also said, we all like sex. And I think what you mentioned before is that some of your girlfriends actually go to you for sex advice. You're not a sex expert, but you feel like you have a lot of knowledge, just through your experiences. And what's some of the advice that people go to you on about just sexuality?
So I have friends that will come to me and tell me that they're not having an orgasm during penetration, which is very common for women. And what can they do differently? Or that they only get it through masturbation, or they've never had one before.
Yeah.
So like I said, I've done research and I know what it took me into my 30s to finally have an orgasm with penetration. And it's really like for women, sex is in your mind. Yes, your body participates. But if you are not in that mindset, it doesn't matter what he does. You're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to get off. So it's more about relaxing and really just not tensing up. Like, oh my God, it's not happening for me. I'm not getting this. If she relaxes her body and doesn't think about it, even I have friends that are like, I can't give a blowjob. I automatically, the thought of it makes me gag. I can't make it go in my throat. It's because it's in your head. If you relax and open your throat and just not think about the fact that something foreign is going into it, you're able to do it. So if you enjoy the process and not fight it.
Yeah. How did you come to the realization that, oh, wow, this is my first orgasm and I'm 30? Was there, before to that point, were you like, okay, this is what sex is about? I'm not really relaxed like you said, or was there different things that were stopping you from getting that orgasm?
I didn't enjoy it. Sex for me was painful for many years. So unless it was oral, I thought my man just oral and I'll give him oral and we never have to penetration, that'd be the perfect relationship. And I met someone who took his time and got me to relax and showed me what it could be like with actual penetration. And it was amazing to finally get that orgasm, to finally feel what sex should actually feel like, other than just oral, which, oral, yay.
Yeah, I know. I love doing that too to my girl. But I feel like trust has to come, or is a big part of that too, in getting an orgasm and how much you like the person. Would you say that's right?
I would, because you guys as outer, we're inner. You're entering inside of us and becoming that one. And she's got to trust. And relax. And it's almost like falling off a cliff. Some women are scared to fall off. And if you relax and just go with him at the same time, sometimes at the same time he's, ejaculating, it's such an amazing feeling, but you have to trust. You
do. And I think, damn, that's That's unfortunate you had to wait till 30 to get your first orgasm. But there's a lot of women out
First
there that
orgasm with penetration.
Got
penetration. Several of them before then.
Yeah. So glad for you that you did that. And also, what's some of the other things that your girlfriends talk to you about? Because as men, and when we get older, we might not have the best sex drive as when we were in our 20s. So what's some of the advice that you can give maybe to men or even to the women that's in their lives that can help them get it up like they were before?
Add toys, add different things in the bedroom with you. And it doesn't take away from his manhood, because I've had a couple of guys be like, we're straight. We don't need that. My girl's satisfied. And it's not a matter of satisfaction, but you want to last longer. You want her to last longer. You want to enjoy it. Maybe, have her have a couple of orgasms before you finally get yours. Because we can have multiple while you get that one and then it's done. So,
damn.
Seriously.
Or just take a 20-minute break.
Right. But not every guy can just do 20 minutes.
If you're lucky.
So, and different toys can make a guy have an orgasm so much stronger, probably stronger than he's ever felt. So I would say adding things in.
Nice. Yeah. There was a time where I was with this girl and she just liked getting handcuffed to the bed. So that was pretty interesting to me too, because I was like, this is kind of weird, but I liked it. It was cool. Yeah, so I think switching it up, and like you mentioned, toys, and what kind of toys? Because there's so many to choose from. How would someone know that's the right one for them?
Trial and error. Like I sell for Candy Burgess with bedroom candy.
Okay.
And we have lines that are specifically for men. We have lines that are for women. So if, let's say, your girl doesn't like to give you a blowjob or her mouth gets tired very easily, we have one that is like a little glove, and you put it on and it has texture on one side and it's smooth on the inside. And so it feels as if you are actually getting a blowjob. And it's going to go a lot longer than maybe her mouth will, or she can start with her mouth and then take over with the hand. It makes you go longer. It gives her some pleasure where she gets some rest, because we end up getting lockjaw.
Yeah.
And, and then you got to stop and there's slobber. And so it just makes the whole process a little easier and a lot more fun. And I've been told when he's got that on, he ends up lasting a lot longer.
Wow, that's a great one. I didn't even know about that. Man, I'm going to have to check that website out. That's awesome. Yeah, because I also saw, I guess for guys and women, we can use this for oral, but lubricants as well, too. Would you recommend something like that?
Definitely, because sometimes women don't get as wet, especially as they get older. They dry up a lot easier. But you want to get something that's going to be safe for the body, because there's too many out there that have other ingredients in it that's not as safe, and it is, going inside of her. So again, bedroom candy, everything is silicone, animal free tested. And she wanted to make sure that nothing was going to harm a woman to where you end up getting different kinds of cancers and stuff because of the plastic that things are made in. Yeah. So they're all silicone based, and so that it's safe for the body.
How'd you come to this realization that, oh man, I need to start bringing toys into the bedroom? Because I don't want to throw out perceptions, but just from seeing a devoted or a Christian, it'd be kind of hard, and dating someone that's a hardcore Christian too right now, I find it difficult to express my sexual needs because I feel like, oh man, I'm going to be judged, or I'm going to be, she's going to take it the wrong way. Like, what kind of girl do you think I am? But it's totally not like that. So how do you bring the toys into the bedroom with that conversation?
I've had guys where when I was in a relationship, why do you feel that we need that? Am I not pleasuring you enough? Why do you feel like you have to have this in here? And it's, let's just try it and see how we like it. Or let me just do this to you and see how you feel about it. And the trust comes in. So then he ends up enjoying it. And then, why don't you sit there and watch and let me do something and see if you enjoy. So most guys like to watch a girl do something. So if I'm doing it and you're enjoying it, then I might grab your hand and then hear you try and see how many times you can make me jump up, how many times you can make me squirm, and just bring it in playful. It doesn't have to take anything from him or anything from her. I think it's big trust. If she trusts you and let's just try this and see how you enjoy it. If you don't like it, we can never do it again.
Yeah.
But trust me, she's going to like it.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, because I always want to have conversations like that, but I feel I'm too afraid to bring it up just because of how she'll think about me. Like, what?
She's probably thinking of doing it herself and is afraid of what you're going to say if she brings it up to you.
Okay.
Because it's usually, oh my God, he's going to think, I don't enjoy him. I'm not having fun. Why do I need this? Yeah.
See, I wouldn't even think that a woman would think that way about using a toy. It wasn't like I feel confident that I can pleasure you, but I just want to spice it up. Yeah. I just want to do different things.
Every relationship I've had, I've been the one who brings in the toys.
Oh, wow.
I've never had a guy say, let's try this.
And they've all had good reactions to it, or do you have any one fight you back
I had
on
one that was like, am I not pleasuring you enough? Why do you feel you need that? And it wasn't a matter of that. But once I was like, well, let's just try this one thing and see how you feel about it. And it ended up being a better sexual experience that from then on, it was like, where is it? Let's bring it in. Yeah.
Can we get a little personal with the stuff that you use? Like, what are some of your favorite ones?
I really like the hip hop that we have. It's, it's a little bunny.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it has 7 speeds and, it has bunny ears, so you kind of put it on the clit and it stimulates and
Do you think every girl should have something like a dildo pretty much?
Hell yes.
I agree. I'm always surprised when I hear a lady does not have one. I'm like, why? They're like, I don't do that. I'm like, what do you mean you don't do that? I do it all the time and I don't even have one.
Right. I think every woman should have one and be in touch with where stuff is for her, because if she can't sit, she doesn't know where things are. How is she going to tell him?
Yeah, because a lot of times a guy would probably think that they're
hitting a
job.
spot and they're not, right?
Yeah.
Or they're down there and she goes right there, and then you guys move. And we're like, damn it, I said right there, why'd you move? So yeah, she's got to know what she likes. I mean, honestly, in my 20s, I didn't know what I liked and hit my 30s and realized and I didn't speak up. So once I realized what I like and you're doing something I don't like, why are we going to keep doing that? Because now I'm uncomfortable. I don't like that. You keep doing it because you think I like it. And the experience isn't that great.
Yeah, I definitely realized through aging that the best sex I've had has been in my 30s, which is like now pretty much, like I'm 31. So, but it's been amazing. So I didn't know what the hell I was doing back then because I thought I was having a great time. And I was, but the pleasure.
But you were probably just going in there, boom, 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 boom. No finesse, no technique.
Yeah. But what about, I guess, for guys that approach you or that you sell to, what are some of the items that they enjoy for themselves?
For themselves, we also have beauty lines. We have lotions and shaving creams and stuff like that. But the hand is a very popular item because he can, he can bring it into his girl. We have items that are his and hers that go on together so that once it's on, it'll keep him harder. Or we have different gels that a woman can put on her clit that'll make it, what's the proper term? I mean, just kind of swell up so that when she has her orgasms a little bit harder and he can feel it as well. So we have a lot of things that they can use together or separate depending on mood, or she can be using it on him and he can be using something on her before they come together.
Wait, what sex toys have you used, Carlos?
I don't think I used any. I haven't used any sex toys at all.
Oh,
that's kind of boring.
I know. But I haven't, like all the girls I've been with were always around my age. So I never, like I said, I never brought it up. I always wanted to try it out, but I never really done some freaky deaky shit either.
So you consider toys freaky deaky?
Yeah, actually, yeah. I was like thinking about that. I would consider it.
I enjoy them. I don't use them as much as I should. But I mean, I have the cock ring. I have the vibrating nipple stuff. I have
the beads.
I have the beads. I do have the beads. I have the
we
dice.
have a cock ring called the Rise and Shine, which is amazing because it goes around him and then the bullet is on her. But you can also take that bullet out and use it other places where the cock ring is still holding him tight. But if you put the bullet under his scrotum,
wow,
really big orgasm.
That sounds amazing. Do you think your girlfriend will let you do that?
Maybe. Sorry, babe. We're going to have a talk soon. So while we're on the topic of sexuality, I do want to ask you this question because it's an everlasting question. It's been thrown out for years and years. Does size really matter to a woman? Because now that we got all these different sex toys, we know more about sexuality. I feel that it might not, but I could be wrong.
I think it depends on the woman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because you could have guys that are too big.
Yeah.
And then that's just painful. And after sex, I don't want to have to sit in a tub to relax and feel a little bit better because you've tried to knock my brains out.
Yeah.
Like some guys. So the whole thing of sex matters because I want mandingo. No, not every woman wants mandingo because honestly, it hurts like hell.
Yeah.
You don't want anything too small because you can't feel anything.
Mm-hmm.
So to answer your question, yes, it does, but it also depends on the woman and what she wants.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting, yeah, because there's always been that question. There's so many different answers that you can go with, but I think you played that up perfectly well. That's exactly depends on your girl. So
you have some women that can take that 10 inches. I am not one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was watching this episode of Taxi Cab Confessions before, and the girl that was getting interviewed she was married to some guy for 5 years, and she thought she was having great sex, and then they got divorced or whatever, and then her current boyfriend had like, I don't know what exactly, but it was like 7 to 10 inches, something like that, and she was like, oh, now I know what sex really is, like, oh, I've been missing out on sex my whole entire life, like, so I'm like damn, like, that, but that could have just been her response to it. Right.
And there's also feelings and love because I've had, a relationship where I thought it was wonderful. And then we broke up and we weren't together and then might have seen each other later on and went back to have sex again. And it was like, this was it? Because again, it's in that head. It's how I feel. It's the emotions I have with it that makes it so much better. But then there are other things where maybe you might not use toys. There are toes, there's ears, there's different zones of the body. That's not just the vagina and the penis. Guys got to explore other areas. The toes are a very big erogenous zone, but most guys don't pay attention to that.
The toes, wow. Yeah.
My girl hates me touching her feet.
Really?
Yeah, I do it anyway, but I don't know if she likes it.
Yeah, some girls don't like that at all.
I know someone who never liked it, and every time I would say, you should really try and have him mess with your toes, she was like, nope, I'm too ticklish. That's not going to happen. And then one day a guy got a hold of those toes, and I got a 30-minute conversation of how wonderful it was. And I was like, I've been telling you for years.
Wait, what do you do with the toes? You just give them a massage? Or
You can do a massage. You put them in your mouth, suck on the toes, play with them. The same thing you would do with an ear or fingers. Do the same thing.
What about men's butthole? Are you open to that? Do you mess around with that? Or is that
I mess around with it as far as if I'm giving you a blowjob, since I know that's your G spot, I will place my finger there so that I give you a better orgasm, but I'm not tossing salad.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think that's too much? Why is it such a taboo? I mean, obviously we know why, because men want to be so masculine. It feels like it's taken away from them, but I don't understand. If you're with somebody, they should be so much more open to it.
I don't know why guys get so scared, because my thing is that you're not with another guy at the moment. You're with a girl. Yeah. So if she's doing something to pleasure you and you know that is a pleasure spot, because that is where you guys' G-string, dummy, G spot is, then don't you want more pleasure? And it's not like it's the whole finger. It is really like the nail of your finger is all that's going in there. And she's just pushing that point so that I would think that you guys would want your orgasms to be like curled, toes curled up orgasm. So I don't know why it's such a taboo. Maybe you should tell me why it's such a taboo for guys.
Our reaction at anytime there's anything there is to like jump up and be like, oh shit, what the hell was that? Which I do all the time because she does that. She likes to do the surprise poke. And I'm like, what the fuck, man?
She's got to let you know first.
I can't bend over and tie my shoes without my girl like poking and doing something like that, you know? Or like if we're taking a shower and I lean over to wash my toes, it's like something's going to happen. And it usually does. But I say for that reason, it's like it's a surprise. Or if we become comfortable, sometimes I feel like the finger can go a little bit too deep. Okay. Where it's not that, warm sensation that you're going to start to feel the good stuff. It's more of like this is fucking weird. I'm not at a doctor's appointment right now. This shouldn't be happening. Right.
Well, she's also, because there's that trust there, she's also got to know not to go so far. And if you're going to allow her to do it, that she should take that into consideration and only go as far as the spot. Because after that, it's not a good sensation for you.
Yeah. How about, I'm just going to ask you all types of fucking questions now.
Okay.
How about how long should a sexual experience last? Like how, as a whole, right? If you're about to have sex, how long is it good for you?
That's a really hard question because I've had where let's get a quickie in real quick and it maybe 2-3 minutes and that's all I needed. But an ex before an ex, we could go 2-hour sessions and it was still good. But he also wanted to make sure I got 20 orgasms before his one.
Gotcha.
And it used to freak me out because I was like, girls should not be able to orgasm this much.
Would you say that, I don't know. I mean, you say it can go as long as 2 hours, but I imagine you've had sex that's gone on longer or like as long and you haven't enjoyed it as much, right? Was there times when
this particular person, I enjoyed it every time it was that long. Yeah. Because like I said, his mission was let me at least give you 20 before we continue. Let me see how much I can pleasure you before I'm going to get mine.
Yeah.
So yeah, I enjoyed it with him every time. There's other people where I was like, can this please finish?
Do you do the fake orgasms?
I have.
You have just to get it over with.
Yes.
I've done that too.
How does a guy do that though? Because there's
sometimes
usually a mess.
Tired.
Okay.
Sometimes they're like, oh, yeah, I came. It's done. It's in the condom.
It's really Oscar award winning stuff because you have to do. It's like it's over exaggerated. I do that shit. I'm just like yeah. And then you quickly lay on your back. And you're like, I don't know, say a good comment like that was great, and then you put your clothes on.
So why? Because you just weren't gonna get it?
Yeah, basically. I know I'm not gonna come, so this is it. I gotta stop.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna come, and maybe I wasn't that into it to begin with, almost. Like I went in there wanting it, and then in the middle of it, I was like, never mind.
I know who exactly.
Was it just trash?
Yeah, it was kind of trash. It was
oh my
trash.
Goodness!
I've been there too, Anthony.
Well, I have to admit, I've been there where the guy has talked so much and talked himself up, and you're like, oh my God, this is gonna be amazing, and then he gets in there, and you're like, this was it. Like I saw you dancing on the dance floor. We were having a good time. We were moving. I'm like, oh, he's got this rhythm. It's gonna be great. And then, yeah, nothing. Couldn't back anything up. And then you're like, okay, gotta go. I'm done. Yes. Okay.
Bounce. Man, has there been a guy who caught you like you really didn't orgasm?
No. I'm really good at faking it.
Man.
I actually, when I was in my 20s, did a radio show where there was a contest and I ended up winning. Mm-hmm. Guys had to guess who was the fake and who was the real. And every time they kept saying I was the real one. And I was the one that was faking it. So, no, I'm very good at I can fake it.
I have to do it. Can we get a little piece of that? Like, can we hear a little?
Okay. Yes. Right there. Oh my God. Yes. Don't stop. Yeah.
Oscar nomination right there.
Yeah, I feel like I would have done a good job if I heard that. I would like I have an S on my chest right now.
It's like put your arm back and lay down. Like,
Smoke that cigarette.
Time to smoke a cigarette.
yeah. Oh man. Well, yeah. I guess now knowing that, it's like shit. You never know when you did a good job unless you really trust your girl.
Right. But be honest, and I mean, especially if you're in a relationship, be honest. You didn't get it or she didn't get it. Talk to each other because maybe something didn't hit right or you're doing something she's not liking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just, because like in our 20s, we don't speak up. We just go with it. So say something because it could be so much better if you actually talk.
Mm-hmm. And something else that you did mention before was that some guys talk themselves out of getting some play.
Right. I personally believe, and I know I've talked to other girls, that we know within the first 30 seconds of meeting you and talking to you, whether or not, like, let's say we're in a club and we meet and we get to talking and we thinking about going home with you. We know in the first 30 seconds whether or not we're going to, whether or not you're going to get it. Most guys start talking and bragging and saying this and that, and they talk themselves out of it. So you were probably in, and then you got to running your mouth and trying to be Mr. Joe Blow, and now we're like, nope.
Yeah, I feel like it's different for women than for us too, because we have to reach your intellectual level.
Right. You got to stimulate our minds before you can stimulate our body. Because if you can sit here and have a really good conversation with me, you can get me wet just doing that. And you never have to touch me. So guys don't realize how much they can do just by having a conversation. Make me think about something. Because, I mean, when we get old, we might still be trying to do something in our 80s, but how long is it going to last? Talk to me. Give me something that I'm thinking about.
Yeah, I think it's you have to work on your game and you have to just know the person too, because some guys can be too cocky or not confident enough.
Or just come with game. Why do you have to come with game? Just come be honest.
Yeah.
Well, like you are a very attractive, beautiful woman, and you can probably intimidate a lot of guys, I imagine.
I do, and I'm 6 feet, and I do get that. I get the intimidation thing, but once you actually, I mean, I've had guys that just stand there and stare at me. And then
that's just the LA way, though.
That's a lot of guys, yeah.
Oh, it's so annoying. And then I go, hello. And then their face goes like, holy crap, she spoke to me. Like, I'm a person. Like, just talk to me.
You got to pick the right time.
Staring.
It's like, shoot, I wasn't expecting that yet.
Right. And I've asked guys, why did you just look like that? Because I'm not used to girls actually speaking. They just look at you and roll their eyes and walk away. And I'm from Texas. We speak. Yeah. So, instead of just staring at me, because then I think I got a booger or something on my face. Why are you staring at me?
You did mention something about your height. You are, fairly tall. You're 6 feet. 6 feet. Are you open to dating shorter men?
I have in the past. Now I would like someone that's at least 6 feet. I mean, I end up wearing heels, so then I'm taller. But I'd like when we're standing face to face that we're at least the same height.
Okay. Would you say that if Mr. Right was 5'7", 5'8"? I know you said if Mr. Right was like 6, he has to be 6 foot, right? But
I would like that. I don't believe that God made my Mr. Right or my spouse shorter than me. My mom asked me that too, because one of the guys I met on the app was 5'8", and we were having nice conversation and everything. And she's like, he could be the one. Until we got to the whole God thing. But I was like, no, I don't think God made my Mr. Right 5'8".
Yeah.
And I could be wrong, but I just don't believe that.
Wow. Well, thanks a lot, Janeen, for speaking your mind and just props to you for knowing what you want and just sticking to that and thank you for having this conversation with me and Anthony about sexuality and the sex toys. That was a pretty good eye opener for me, because it's not weird to try it out on the bed. It's actually great, and it can improve your sex relationship with whoever you are. And for my listeners, where can they find these toys again?
Bedroomcandy.com. Bedroomkandi.com.
Should they buy from you directly? Do you have like, I don't know, like a Twitter or something that they should, like, you can put on?
Well, they can hit me on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's my
What's your
first
post?
and last name, which is Janeen, Janean, Jeffries, Jeffries. And they can always ask me questions. I'm not shy. I'll answer anything that I can possibly answer. And if I don't know the answer, I'll go find out.
Yeah, if you guys got any follow-up questions, hit up Janeen. She's been great. Me and Anthony just been rolling with this. I think Anthony's asked a lot of great questions. Thank you so much again for giving us your time. I know it's precious, but I appreciate you doing that.
Thank you for having me on. I've enjoyed my time here.